What's up, guys?
On this week's show,
Another Venom trailer.
our biopic,
And Mike C. Squared is a conspiracy theorist?
plus
Dumb shit of the week.
All that and more on this episode
Of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared. And with me is my co-host, DJ Melly Mel.
Hey! I missed that.
Yeah.
God. I hate being a grown-up. It sucks. What's up? You seem upset.
You know, I'm a little perturbed, to say the least. So, it's always funny to me. The things that I think are going to get me in trouble for all the things that I say, it's always the shit that I think is going to be innocuous and just kind of go over, like a wet fart. Like, nobody's just going to, it's like, oh, all right, whatever. And the things that I say that are kind of outlandish, no one even blinks at, but it's just the little things that people seem to get really in their feelings about. I think it would be a good way to say it. So
I would say that, sure, that's not what I was thinking, but we'll go with that.
Well, it's, I know I'm being all weird and cryptic about it. Okay. So I had made a little snippet of our last episode where we talked about Disney acquiring Fox.
Okay.
And it was that joke that we had made about Deadpool being in his own corner in the sandbox.
Oh, he's the cat poop kid.
Yeah, he has lice and you can't play with him, yada, yada, yada. Now, the whole thing was supposed to be just emphasizing, and that whole conversation was just supposed to be about how we are just questioning how they're going to incorporate him into the MCU, if they do it at all.
Right.
It was never about, we didn't think that Disney would keep making Deadpool movies. Like, they would just be like, we just don't want no part of this. Like,
right.
No one ever said that. But
somebody inferred it?
Some individuals will say on Twitter, I guess kind of, I don't know, they felt some type of way about it, clearly. And it was just a bunch of, like, this is just, and like, no offense, like, don't take this the wrong way. If you guys are listeners, like, I don't want you to feel like I'm like shitting on you, but like, this is the kind of shit that I hate about like geek culture and shit. Cause like, you'll say something, someone will misinterpret the meaning behind it, or just because it may seem similar to an argument that you've seen before, you automatically assume it's that.
Right.
And so they immediately go into this whole like thing, and it's like, well, actually, Miramax is a subsidiary of Disney, and Disney just distributes their movies, and Disney does not own Deadpool as a property nor Marvel, and they just are a distributor. There's no Disney logo on any Marvel film, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. and it's like, no offense, guys. So, but I did feel some type of way about it as well, because I was just like, why are y'all getting? And it was like this, like 9 tweet long conversation, and then like some other dude jumped into it, and he's like, yes, you are correct. They do not own Deadpool as a property. It's an intellectual property that is owned by Marvel, which is a subsidiary. And I was like, oh my fucking
I take a week off of Twitter and all this shit happens.
I was just like, oh man, these motherfuckers is.
Because I've been seeing your tweets, our show tweets, and our followers. I've seen them.
Right.
Which, shout out to you guys, congrats.
Thank you.
But I've had a lot going on this week, so it's just been swipe right, getting them off the notification screen, and then I forget to go back to Twitter. So I've been off Twitter for like a week.
Good job. Way to tell the listeners that you ignore their tweets.
No, because I know that you got my butt and you're covered.
Yep, no, I got you. You
pick up my slack.
Yeah, no, I have pretty much officially migrated off of Facebook, and I'm just like on Twitter now.
Yeah.
So like, I go on there, and it's like, such and such has a birthday, so you know, I'll go, yeah, sure, all right, happy birthday, how you doing? You know, or
be like,
somebody,
hey, still thinking about you.
Right,
Congratulations.
somebody tagged you in a post or something. Oh, hey, I remember that day and we did that thing. Yeah,
cool.
But other than that, I don't too much fuck around. Yeah, politics has ruined Facebook for me, and it's pretty much ruined all the social media, but especially Facebook.
Yeah,
because it's like, your uncle and should be posting some old crazy Nazi-esque shit, and it's like, all right, yeah, okay, block.
Uncle Joe gotta go.
Right, like I can't be talking to you no more. Is Facebook has
Cousin
ruined
Susie?
relationships.
Yep, she's fucking shit up too.
Yeah, and that's how you know Facebook is fucked up, because they had to go so far to the point where they're like putting out these ads. It's like, remember when Facebook was about friends?
I've seen those,
and it's just like, what? And it's like they're going so shy. They might.
We're gonna get back to that.
Right. It's like they might as well just be real about it and just stop with all the pretense. And it's like, we know that we fucked up and we're sorry. Everyone here at Facebook still loves you. Will
Come
you
back
love
to
us
us
too again? And yeah, so the whole thing is just like, well, But anywho, I just had to get that off my chest real quick.
Okay.
Soapbox over.
Good
anyway.
to know.
Anyway, so besides that, there is one quick thing I wanted to do. It's a story. I had talked about this with DJ Melly Mel off mic, but I wanted to tell you guys about it because I thought it might be funny. And sorry if anyone is actually, I was supposed to research and see if this was a thing already, but I didn't. Crack research team at One Giant Leap for Geeks here. But I was on my way to get some food.
Okay.
And I was behind this pickup truck. And it was really weird because the guy in the pickup truck, he was waving at every other pickup truck that was going past an intersection.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. So at first, the first 2 times he did it, I'm like, oh, he must know these people.
Sure.
They're some friends of his or whatever. Or maybe it's like that thing that bikers do. It's like you see a fellow biker.
You
nod at him or whatever.
Yep.
And I'm like, maybe that's, I don't know. If anybody knows, is that a thing
it's
with
a pickup truck
drivers?
Thing.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm like, do they do that? Maybe semi drivers, I could see that, but really, I got a pickup truck. I have a bed in the back of mine too. Anyway.
They did it in Texas, man. You'd pass somebody driving the same kind of pickup truck that you had, and
well, sure, if it's the same kind, but it's not just every pickup truck that goes by. Could you imagine if people, every 2-door car that you pass, you acknowledge it? Anyway, I don't want to drag this story
waving
out.
all day. Anyway.
But he waves at 5 different cars, and it was really weird. So that's what initially made him catch our attention. And he has this decal in the window of his truck, and it says, I love Cooter. In which I'm like, hey, you know what? So do I. I feel you. I mean, I don't necessarily feel like I need to announce it to the world.
Right.
I love pussy. All right, man. Cool. But, okay. He goes straight, we turn. It's all right, whatever. Mm-hmm. But one of the trucks that he had waved at, we see them at the next intersection.
Okay.
And we pull up to them, and they have a decal on the back of their window. They're not waving at people and all that weird shit. But they have a decal as well, and it just says, Mommin'. like MOMMIN. Mommin'. Yeah, and apostrophe. And I was like, is that a thing? I'm like, Mommin'? Is that a thing? And the first thing it made me think of, and shout out to Angela, you know who you are. If you hear this, you will appreciate this. But it was funny because the first thing I thought of was the the old Ballin' song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing I thought of was that, because it was it made me think Mommin'!
Uh-huh.
But so this is how I'm going to get us YouTube famous or viral or something like that, right? We're going to do kind of that Christmas pajamas videos or all those other parody songs. This is going to be our Weird Al Yankovic, parody
You got
song,
it.
All right. Mommin'. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We stay home with kids and raise them. Mommin'! It's so dope, but I was
my God.
I laughed at that for a good 10 minutes, and pretty much since I've been here, have I not been humming and or singing?
You have.
The whole time I've been setting up.
And we've been cracking jokes, and
Mommin'.
that's going to be our new hashtag.
Hashtag
I'm
Mommin'.
not a mom yet, but when I am,
Right.
that'll be...
All right, me either, but when I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got me halfway beat there.
Yeah. Right. It's like, I'm not a mother per se. I am a parent, but not necessarily a mother.
Right.
But anywho, all right, getting on to the first story.
Yes.
So we finally have a pretty much spoiled the whole goddamn movie look at Venom and this newest trailer for the Venom movie. They show quite a bit.
They do. It was like
Quite
a 3.5 minute trailer.
Yeah, because a good chunk of the beginning was kind of like a lot of shit we had already seen before.
Sure.
But then it continues on, and they've pretty much, and I mean, look, if you have not seen the Venom trailer somehow yet by now, and you're listening to this, don't watch it, and don't listen to this segment, because it's going to pretty much spoil the movie. So they pretty much flat out spoil the villain of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's inferred that, or implied at least, that the scientist dude, the Indian guy, like, he's going to be like the villain of the movie, right? Sure, assume that, whatever. I did not assume that he was going to get a symbiote himself and then, be I think Havoc is the name of his symbiote.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like you kind of ruined the fact that he's going to get a symbiote in the trailer to the movie, and it hasn't even come out yet. It comes out in October, but I already know he's going to fight, Tom Hardy's Venom at the end of the movie.
I'm really hoping that, you know how they always pick the good parts of the movie to put in the trailer?
Oh, sure, the money shots.
I'm really hoping that this 3.5 minute trailer isn't all of the good shots.
I'm starting to wonder, yeah, because that whole fight scene where he's like trying to rip the symbiote off him, and like they kind of like rip apart, and all that shit. Yeah, they showed a little bit too much. Like you didn't need to show all that. No, we know Woody Harrelson's going to be in the movie. A lot of people think he's going to be Carnage. It hasn't been confirmed yet. We just know that he's in the movie, but now they're starting to say like, oh, he's going to be like towards the end and kind of be like a stinger setup for like the sequel, and he won't be the main villain in this. So who knows? Because I'm like, I don't want them to show Carnage if he is going to be the villain,
right?
But it's like, don't ruin it, Jesus. But
did you like how in this one they've added in that the little flash that says we have enough superheroes?
Man, right? I know it was like the world has enough superheroes, and I was like, wow, y'all are really doubling down on this like anti-hero shit. All right, okay. I'm like, I don't want this. Really
my thought was, didn't they have that line attached to Suicide Squad?
We're the bad guys.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah, worst heroes ever.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. But, okay. One thing I did look forward to is seeing more of Tom Hardy as Venom, because for those that don't know, Tom Hardy is doing the voice for Venom as well. It's not like, a whole Darth Vader thing where like the actor that's in the suit is not the one who's voicing it. James Earl Jones voices Darth Vader. But no, that's Tom Hardy doing that voice for Venom. And it's so hilarious to me because I'm like, I swear to God, Tom Hardy, I swear he only picks movies so he can do accents. Like that is his only reason.
Accents, voiceovers,
Yeah, like between Bane and like all the other movies that he does, he always has some kind of different accent, and it's always kind of like weird in some kind of way.
He kind of did have the weird Bane raspy thing going on.
Kind of, sort of.
I mean, not 100%.
He has an interesting, like, weird accent with it, because in the scene where he licks the guy's face, like where the symbiote comes over him and he like lifts up off the ground and he's like choking the dude or whatever, and he's like, I don't know, toying with him before he kills him, and he says, eyes, lungs, pancreas. He's like, snacks. I can't even do it.
You had it so good.
So many snacks, so little time. And I'm just like, why does he do the pancreas? I was like, what was that? Like that part at the end. And then it's just, maybe it's
that's such an obscure organ too, by the way.
Yeah, I know, like eyes, lungs, and pancreas. Like, I guess. I'm like, does he have like x-ray vision? Can he see into him or something? And he just spotted that out. He's like, yes.
Got that haggis.
Oh, God.
That sheep haggis going on there.
Pretty much. So, and then, I don't know, maybe we can chalk it up to, I guess that Venom since he is an alien, like he would sound a little different, I suppose, and like don't really understand like grammar or just, you know, colloquialisms. There we go. And different things like that, because he says this weird line and everybody's already made fun of it. But he's talking to the guy in the supermarket, and yeah, he's choking him out as well. Yeah, I was like, he just likes it. I don't think Venom's gonna actually eat anybody in the movie. He's just gonna choke everybody to death. But
he didn't want to eat him alive.
Right. But he says to him, something about,
you're gonna rip off your arms, your legs, and your face, and you're gonna roll down the street like a faceless.
Yeah, he's like, you. He says,
you'll be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street like a turd in the wind.
And it's like, who says that shit? Like a turd in the wind? I was like, I've never, in my 32 years of life on this planet, I have never heard anyone say turd in the wind.
You know that's going to be the next meme everywhere.
Oh, no, yeah. It currently, I mean, anything
I'm sure
that
it
happens,
already is.
every time somebody falls, they're going to be like
a turd in the wind.
It's like, yeah, okay. And this is rated R, and I'm like, and that's the shit that you use for a turd in the wind? Like, when you are in a rated R movie, you can pretty much say and do anything you want to a degree.
Right.
And your line at the end is
like a turd in the wind.
It's like, okay. Like, all right. I do feel like the special effects have gotten a little bit better since we've got the first trailer.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
I think Venom's face looks a little bit different, though. Like, his shape, it's like kind of more, comes to a point at the bottom now, it feels like. Cause
less
before
round.
It seemed, a little bit more round. Now it's kind of like an upside-down egg, you know? But I think it's fine. Like, the effect that makes him look kind of like he's wet almost, you know? I'm like, I think that's kind of cool, like the symbiote. In
like he's like slimy.
Yeah, like in Spider-Man 3, you know, it acts like it's like sticky slime, but it doesn't like look like that, you know? It doesn't have like a shiny mirror surface or the way light hits it.
It just looked like, I don't know, dead boogers or something.
Dead boogers, Jesus Christ. Your symbiote suit looked like dead boogers. Fuck you, Topher Grace. Like, jeez. Hey, I still like that 70s show, man. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, did this make you more, less, or indifferently excited about the movie?
A little bit more.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling out how they've got this playing out.
Okay.
Like, I like the idea of it being Venom and yet another bad guy.
Sure.
But the special effects that it looks like they have added, I'm digging it.
Okay. Now, what do you feel about this whole thing, which it seems like we're doing it even more so now recently, but I feel like in just about all superhero movies at some point or another, they tell the story of they're like opposite, where it's like in Black Panther, it's, you know, Killmonger in his Black Panther suit.
Right.
And this, it's another symbiote that he's fighting. So it's like, how do you feel about them doing that?
I kind of think it's overdone. Because, you know, like you said, we do it over and over. And it could be just a good versus evil kind of thing. Where...
But aren't they both evil, though? I mean, isn't he supposed to be
there?
Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know, because the whole trailer, he's like, we can't just kill people.
But then he's going to eat the guy. And he's, like, eating another guy. And when he's in the... talking about the turd guy... he, like, freaks out and eats the guy, and then the Chinese lady's all spazzing out. And obviously the symbiote disappears. And Eddie Brock's just like, oh, yeah, I got a parasite.
Right, yeah, like, you know, like, oh, you know, I got loose booty. You know, it's all right. I got a stomach virus or something.
Sorry, I ate this guy in your store, but,
right.
You know, I got a parasite. That's cool.
I don't see anything in this that has changed my feelings on it up until this point. I'm still kind of middle of the road to I don't want to see it anyway. Like, I just don't want this to exist. Right. Without Spider-Man in it, it doesn't. This could be like the Citizen Kane.
That's still kind of confusing.
Yeah, of superhero
How
movies.
are you supposed to have Venom
Well, that's why he doesn't have the spider on his chest, because we finally got to see like a full profile of him, and he doesn't have the spider on his chest, because I was wondering if they were going to do that.
Right.
He kind of has these like weird, like wavy white vein looking things, but it's not the spider symbol, so they got rid of that. So I'm assuming he's not going to web swing.
Probably not.
Obviously, he's going to crawl, because we see him doing that in the trailer. But
Ride motorcycles.
I love that issue. That issue of Venom. Venom number 47. I remember when Venom had the Venom cycle and... Oh, that was good. That was good. Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we're going to see it, obviously, and we're going to probably shit on it, because... I'm sorry, man.
That's what we do.
Even if... I swear, pretty much. I'm changing the name of this show to We Hate Everything.
You hate everything.
I pretty much, yeah, I know. I was just saying it off mic. I'm like, I swear I don't hate everything. It probably sounds like I do, but I don't. And I don't have a Marvel bias. I just have a bias for good shit. Like, I'm sorry. You know, like, if DC was putting out good shit, I would support it. Like, I love Batman and Superman and, you know, not that movie, but you know what I'm saying.
Batman and Superman, respectively, each character, not BVS.
Hell no. Anyway, I ain't giving no more Venom. No more of my time. Anyway, so the other day at work, I was bored.
Okay.
And I had just got there, too. But I was already, bored,
shit.
as soon as I got there. And so, you know,
One of them days.
Yeah. So we're working. And there was a few people in the store. Like, a few people that work there. And you know, I'm kind of trying to make small talk while we're working. And I'm like, you know, so it just dawned on me. If I started just asking, you know, if somebody made a movie about you, like if you had a biopic, who would you want to play you in the movie? And, you know, we kind of just joked about it back and forth. And then that kind of inspired me to make it something that we talk about on the show.
Okay. So, all right. I wondered where that was going.
I know. It's like our
week.
biopic. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? Yeah. So basically, One Giant Leap for Geeks, the movie, okay? So, how it's going to go is, if you could pick who directed the movie.
Okay.
All right. So, it would be, you know, about, you know, us, the show, our lives and stuff like that. You know, a average biopic thing.
Sure.
And... who would you want to direct the biopic? Now you get your pick, I'll get mine, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't know. I don't know much about directors, and you know, I don't really follow.
Sure. Well, I mean, come on.
I follow a couple of them. But...
Sure. But I mean, just one that you're familiar with that you have liked something that they've done. It's funny because I can think of an obvious one, and I'm shocked that you didn't just immediately just blurt out. He made 2 of your favorite movies of your favorite character.
Tim Burton?
There you go. I was like, do I just need to just say Batman?
No,
Jesus, yeah.
No, I mean...
yeah, there you go.
I don't think our life is a Burton film, though.
Oh... no one's life is a Burton film.
Johnny Depp's life is a Burton film. All the time. But, I mean...
He's like, costumes!
Burton's real dark and
sure.
dank, and I don't think our life is that dark and dank, I suppose.
It'd look really cool, though.
Yeah, it would. It would look cool.
Okay.
I'd kind of like Ava DuVernay to...
There you go. All right. Ava DuVernay is directing the biopic. Okay.
Yes.
So, who do you want to play you? And I'll give you 3 choices in your biopic.
I only need one.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That I know.
Okay.
Allison Hannigan.
Well, okay,
Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, the redheaded chick?
Yeah.
Oh, I love her. Oh, yeah. She's kind of weird, but no, I like
her.
her.
I'm kind of weird.
She's like, just like me. That's why I like her.
That's kind of why I picked her.
No, that's good. That's good. I like her, too. That's a good one. Okay, so she said, I don't need no more picks.
She put on a little weight. She'd be good.
Hey, I was going to say, I think that's a good one. So, okay, I have 3.
Okay.
All right. Because I couldn't decide. Okay, now my choices for, you know, no particular order of desirability, you know, except The first one. Like I think out of the three, I would probably would prefer him over anybody else. But
Okay.
All right. So for me, Mike C. Squared, it was hard to do this as well because it was hard to just find biracial actors in general.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually, by the end, I just kind of gave up with
Right.
the last pick, and you'll understand why in a second. So my picks, all right? Jesse Williams.
Okay.
Now, do you know who that is?
I know who Jesse Williams
all right,
is,
all right.
yeah.
I don't have blue eyes, but whatever. It's going to be embellished.
He can throw contacts in.
He'll be extra handsome on my behalf.
Whatever.
It's
You
totally
can put
fine.
contacts in.
Vin Diesel.
All right.
And remember,
All
the
right.
criteria is biracial and bald, or could be bald and look fine.
Right.
And then Idris Elba. Like I said, by the end, I just gave up. I was like, I can't find no more biracial actors that I think could play me. So I was like, fuck it. Idris Elba.
my
I just went with just
gosh.
a standard black dude. Was like, this is good enough. Fuck it.
Nice.
But it's funny because in researching this, I just came across a bunch of biracial actors that I didn't even know was biracial.
Okay.
Do you know that I think it's shit, I can't think of his name. The actor who plays Captain Cold on The Flash,
I don't.
he's the guy with the buzz cut on Prison Break. Are you looking it up? Captain Cold,
Wentworth Miller.
there we go. Yeah, he's mixed. His dad's black and his mom's white. And I was like, really?
I could see that.
I was like, that motherfucker is pale as shit. I thought I was light as hell, but I was like, okay, well, there we go. I was like, shit, I just thought he
His
was
mom
just
was one of them neon
white guy
white.
number 3,407,000,000. He said he's what?
I said his mom was neon white.
I guess so. Shit, yeah.
If I ever had mixed babies, they'd be on the lighter side, I'm sure.
It depends on how dark the dad is.
Well, that's true.
I'll say if it was Idris Elba, it might not be. Shit. Yeah, I love Idris Elba, but he dark than a motherfucker. He know he is too. He already know. Idris Elba, he know he's sexy. It's all good.
Wentworth Miller, huh? Let's see what else. I've seen that guy.
All right. I don't want you to go down this motherfucker's
I'm not.
biography shit. We're talking about our biopic,
Yes,
not his.
we
Fuck
are.
him. Put the phone down. All right, look. So I found out that he was biracial as well. Was the whole point of that thing.
Right.
But so the movie itself, obviously, it would be like super embellished and mostly lies, pretty much, because I'd be Jesse Williams. I'd be super in shape, super handsome.
Whatever.
There'd be like a lot of action scenes, and I'd have sex with a lot of like hot models, and it'd be a lot of lavish locations and globetrotting, and just a bunch of fast cars and guns and shit. It'd be dope.
With
I thought this was about a podcast.
I would say
What the fuck is this?
with Allison Hannigan as your co-star.
Hell yeah.
She's all goofy and
Hell yeah.
chipper.
She
and-
go, ha! Mike C. Squared, you're so funny. And I'm like, get down! Explodes and shit. We're going to be like doing a podcast. Somebody's going to shoot a missile in the room and shit, and they're going to dive over the microphones. It's going to be epic.
room's gonna actually burst into flames.
Yeah. Get ready. This fall.
Right.
Right. It started off as a podcast.
Daisy come busting in here. Super dog. Was it Crypto?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Crypto.
Crypto.
Yeah,
Crypto the dog.
Crypto. Yeah. It started off as a podcast.
Between two friends.
Right. They didn't know it would cost them their lives.
There were no flutes involved.
Oh.
I only mentioned that because I was just actually reading an article about her, Allison Hannigan, and they said that she can't find work because in the 90s she was like this ditzy, goofy sidekick girl, and then she went to How I Met Your Mother, and she can't escape her 3 famous roles. And they said, all right, now name a movie that she was in that didn't include one of these 3 things. Either
American Pie, How I Met Your Mother, and Buffy.
right.
Yeah. No.
Well, they said like a geeky witch.
A geeky blank.
A
geeky
dopey. Dopey. What did they say? Dopey Yuppie, a geeky witch,
Dopey yuppie.
and
Dopey bitch.
a pastry.
No. Why pastry?
Pie, pastry.
Oh, is that what she did? In
She was
How I
in
Met Your
American
Mother?
Pie.
But fucking hate puns. anyway. No, I just wanted to talk about this. So, Jesse Williams, if you're
Okay.
listening, and Allison Hannigan, if you're listening, we have some work for you. Jesse, I know Jesse will do it. He was in that fucking bullshit ass video game that just came out, Detroit Beyond Human or some type shit. So, hey, if he'll do that, he'll do our biography. Get ready this fall for One Giant Leap for Geeks, the movie. movie.
Oh,
It's gonna be great.
We'd have to loan out our mugs.
Oh yeah, and there's gonna be a fight scene in the movie. It's gonna be like, and like some dudes, ninjas, gonna like burst through the window while we doing the podcast, and we'll like break the mug and be doing like a knife fight with it and shit. Oh, it's gonna be
Like
dope.
Equalizer throwing the handle at
yeah.
him.
Denzel. Never mind. I changed it.
see.
Sorry, Jesse. Denzel Washington as Mike C. Squared.
Dude.
I wanted-
You know, when you first pitched
this
this
movie's
to
gonna
me
be
the
so
other day,
great.
you first pitched this to me the other day.
Right.
I started thinking about it. I knew mine right off the bat.
Okay.
And I started thinking about you, and I'm like, who would be fucking Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel were my number two, number one and number two. I was like,
Right.
And then I was like, no, Denzel could pull it.
On this episode of One Giant Leap for Geeks, motherfuckers. I'm tired of these motherfucking ninjas on my motherfucking podcast. Like, shit.
I was wondering how you were going to do that.
Yeah, I know. It took me a second. I was like, how am I going to tie these things together?
Nice.
But anyway, so if anybody, director. Oh, yeah. I didn't pick a director.
No, you didn't.
David Fincher, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude who did Fight Club and Gone
Yep,
Girl
yep,
and all that
yep.
shit. And Social Network and all that. Yeah, David Fincher. Yeah,
Yep.
David Fincher presents One Giant Leap for Geeks, the movie. So it's going to be dope, kids. So keep your calendars clear because it's going to, no, it's never gonna
Not
work out.
happening.
No, we'd have to kill somebody. Then they'd make a movie. They'd make a documentary. They'd make other podcasts about our podcast.
Yep.
They started off as podcasters, and it led to murder.
End up on the ID channel and shit.
Oh
Lifetime.
my god, cold cases and all kind of shit.
We'd
like,
end up on Lifetime with the Scott Peterson movies.
they thought they got away, but they didn't. You have to do your head like this too. You have to keep looking up and down as you talk.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Mhm.
They thought it was over, but it was not. Anyway.
One little slip up.
Right, I know. Oh.
You all right over there?
It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right, Dumb Shit of the Week is a show where you, yes you, submit your findings of dumb shit and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter at GiantLeap, the number 4 Geeks, or you can email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
Thank you. All right, as you know, we've been doing themes for Dumb Shit of the Week in the more recent episodes, and this one is no different. This week's theme, bad movies. Now, we're going to get into this.
It was
right.
funny because I kind of got the idea for this one from what we did last week when we watched the trailer to that Twisted Pair.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
And it made me think, I was like, this would be a good topic. So yeah, so that's kind of the genesis of where this whole idea came from. And it was kind of a mistake.
Well,
No, you don't understand. It's kind of a mistake because, okay, so I did the normal thing and I reached out to our Twitter folks
sure.
to try to get some submissions. And then I also, did the same thing on Reddit, but I had found a Reddit group that, or subreddit that was just strictly about bad movies. So I posted it in there and, I was explaining like, we do a podcast, we talk about stuff like this. And, if you got some of your favorite bad movies, submit some.
Right.
And, we'll give you shout outs and stuff like that. Yada, yada.
Right.
As of right now, that post has 1.5 thousand views and 131 comments on it. And I was like,
God.
Holy shit. I was like, there is no way in hell we're going to cover all this.
No.
So between Twitter and the Reddit folks, we picked 12. Sorry, guys, if we don't get to yours. There was no way in fucking hell we were going to get through all of these. I was like, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to. Because we would pretty much have to just say them all. Oh, maybe that's what I could have did. Just said the whole thing and just played it at like 3 times the speed during the podcast. It's like, and it'd just be like a 10-second thing.
I don't know. That's a lot of freaking movies.
For us, it would be like 30 minutes of talking about it. For y'all, it'd be like 10 seconds of listening to it. But yeah, hell no. No, I was like, no, we're not going to do that. But I mean,
thank you for making that executive decision.
Yeah, because I was like, I figured 12 is more than enough.
I mean, like he said, we applaud you guys. Thanks for the submissions.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the conversation going.
Oh yeah.
Be nice about it.
Oh yeah, by all means.
But
everybody that was in that subreddit was really
good,
nice.
Good,
they were really cool about it.
Good.
But so it'd be a mix of the Twitter folks and the Reddit folks on this one, but a few more of the Reddit this time.
Okay. All right. Well, our first bad movie that we picked was Samurai Cop, and this was sent in by Criminal.
I think it's cranial.
Oh, yep, it sure is.
It's
man.
Weird. It's like some kind of
cranial ectomy.
Yeah, ectomy or something.
Ectomy.
I was like, is that like a medical term or something?
I'll look it up later. I'll let you know. Anyways, CRIANIALECTOMY, and this was on Reddit. And it's about a bitter samurai cop and his sidekick, and they intend to get their revenge and bravely try to go after the Yakuza. Yeah, I said it wrong last time too.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we had it was a dumb shit of the week thing as well back then too.
And I was like, Japanese guy calling.
Yeah, I was like, you just got some kind of thing against the Yakuza, huh?
I guess.
And like this is the poster for it.
Oh my god!
It is so cool.
You have the right to remain silent.
Oh man,
dead silent.
It looks so dope. Do you see the chick on the side with the titties out and they put the stars? There's a couple chicks.
No nipples.
Yeah, I know. They put like little pasties, like stars over them and shit.
No, they just overexposed the light.
Right. It was like,
we got like some dudes with mullets and some dudes with afros and...
Oh yeah, no, this looks like a
guy bringing a sword to a gunfight.
Yeah, this looks like this would be a great like...
Oh yes.
Double feature with this and some other horrible something or other at the drive-in.
I just can imagine this movie because you got looks like 3 white dudes, 2 naked chicks, and 2 black dudes with fros.
Wait, 2?
Oh no, 1 black dude with fro and 1 dude that's got like a Rusev beard going on, and 1 Chinese dude with a mullet.
Yeah, and then there's a dude in the middle too, which he's probably the villain, the Asian dude, the bald Asian dude in the middle. He's probably the bad guy. More than most likely.
Nah. Mr. Mustache Man.
No. See, I got you right here. The white boy, he is the hero, clearly.
Uh-huh.
The black dude is like his mentor or partner or something like that. And the Asian dude with the mullet and the Tom Selleck mustache, that's the dude who trained him to be a samurai.
Oh,
See, the black dude trained him to be a cop. That's how he's a samurai cop. He's
it
of
really
2 worlds.
looks like you got Mel Gibson at the top, and then Danny Glover on the side.
Mel Gibson, right, from like Lethal Weapon 2. Yeah.
Yep. Danny Glover on the side.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then you got Benny Chin on the other side.
Man. What a mullet.
It's some dude that's on speed in the bottom corner.
Oh, no, that's him. That's him again.
Oh, hell.
With the sword? Yeah, that's
way
him.
different.
Oh, he crazy as hell, man. I was like, yeah.
Let's see. Robert Zadar, Dizard,
Matt Hannon,
and Mark Frazier.
So yeah, kids.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so go to your local
Blockbuster.
Right. Oh, shit.
Your Family Video.
Right. If y'all still got one of those, a Family Video, and try to check out Samurai Cop, I guess.
Probably stream it off YouTube for like nothing.
Yeah.
That would be a YouTube movie that you don't have to pay for.
Oh, there you go.
All right. So thank you for that. Moving on. The next bad movie was The Circle. And this was sent to us by Movie Geek and Proud on Twitter. May Holland seizes the opportunity of a lifetime when she lands a job with the world's most powerful technology and social media company. Encouraged by the company's founder, May joins a groundbreaking experience that pushes the boundaries of privacy, ethics, and personal freedom. Her participation in the experiment and every decision she makes soon starts to affect the lives and futures of her friends, family, and that of humanity. Oh my god, I went and watched that movie in theaters.
Did you? Did
Yeah.
you? Okay, so do you agree it's a bad movie?
Oh my god, such a bad movie.
Oh, see, it was.
Oh.
I heard bad things about it, but I never ended up seeing it.
It's got Tom Hanks.
I know, and I felt bad because I was like, I love Tom Hanks.
Emma
No.
Watson.
No.
And it starts off it starts off good. I think she goes to work for Google.
Well,
or-
yeah, it's basically like
something
the
similar.
movie's version of Facebook,
Sure,
Google, something like that.
Some big Fortune 500 company where she starts off all sweet and innocent. And she's like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good thing," and they're giving her benefits, and they got all these cool perks, like you get like a nap chair and a nap pod thing, and you got like information at your ready and cameras everywhere, so everybody knows everything. Well, then she like tries to promote a friend of hers business, and they end up running this dude off a bridge because like the whole world wants to know and people are mad. He makes antler, like the antler furniture.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, some people are mad about that, and some people are excited about that, and he's trying to get away from all these people because he's not a part of her little experiment thing.
The circle.
Yeah, he's not a part of that.
You are not in the inner circle.
He just happens to be an old friend of hers.
Sure.
They run the dude off a road.
Yeah, it's
Or like shoot him or something. Somehow, some way, the dude dies because this little drone's following him around. If I remember right, he ran off the side of the road.
Yeah, from what I heard about it, it's basically like, what if Google was evil? You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
Tom Hanks wants to use and I think it's got Patton Oswalt in it.
Yeah, and
He's
the guy who plays Finn in the Star Wars movies, like John Boyega.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that was it was weird. We left the theater and we were like, the hell?
Yeah, because it was funny because initially DJ Melly Mel was like, she was like, a lot of these movies I've never heard of. And I was like, well, a lot of them are like these low budget, obscure.
Right.
Some of them from like decades ago. So, and I'm like, and then there were some more recent ones too, which we're going to get to one that DJ Melly Mel feels some type of way about. She's not too happy about one of these. And I'm like, oh, okay.
All right. So the third submission that we have this week, Space Mutiny. And that was sent to us by Dr. Bone on Reddit. A space hero puts down mutineers on a huge ship taking Earthlings to a far planet.
And
Okay, so the poster for this says there's nowhere to hide from the enemy within. This looks like some 1980s backwoods bullshit that you're gonna find not even on the quarter bin at Walmart. And it looks like every space movie that's ever been made.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Flash Gordon, a little bit of, Dune, and 30
you got
other
a
things.
dark and ominous guy in the back. And then he's just staring at you. Mm-hmm. Then you got your hero, clearly, and he's shooting a photon laser beam off into space.
Yeah, it looks like they got the Death Star down there in the
they
corner.
got some spaceship that's exploding down in the corner, and some chick with a female mullet party in the front bangs in the top of the head
Business
thing.
in the front, right? Party in the back.
Yeah.
And then, like, his arm, the guy, the main character, the hero, I'm assuming, like, does not look like it's attached to his body. Because, like, he's supposed to be, like, pointing, shooting like this, but his arm is kind of, like, over here by his, like, chin. And I'm like, like, how is he holding that
poorly
gun?
photoshopped in there.
Yeah, I was like, man, y'all, like, perspective.
And notice I said photo chopped, not photoshopped.
Right, like, man, y'all just kind of just cut some shit out and, like, pasted it literally with glue together and was like, put this through the scanner.
This is great.
Right. This is our poster.
All
right.
Nope, I don't. I'll pass on that movie. Thank you. I'm good.
It's a classic, the kids say.
Yeah.
Hey.
I guess. That
Hey,
Space Mutiny.
Hey, the kids on Reddit said it was dope, so.
Yeah. All right. Another one brought to us by Reddit. We have Nightclub. KNIGHT. Club.
Mm-hmm.
And this is sent to us by Octopop.
Do you get it? Like Octomom, Octopop.
Yeah, I got it.
I was like, do you really got 8 kids? I'm sorry, man. Like, god damn.
You know what causes that shit, right?
Unprotected sex.
Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, man. I'm like, shit. After 4, it's like, okay, we good. I think we got plenty.
Be like,
like, we're good.
Wrap it up or clear it out.
At that point, yeah. But hey, more power to you.
Okay, and this says an aspiring actor who works as a bouncer struggles with loyalty and temptation.
Now, what's funny to me about this one is they didn't even have to. I didn't even need to look up a synopsis. I didn't need to see the title. All I need to see was the poster of this shit, and I was like, oh, clearly this is gonna be bad. Anything with Lou Diamond Phillips in this shit.
Hell.
I was like, yeah. And shout out to, hey, Leanne, if you're listening to the show, this one's for you because this girl I used to work with, she used to crack me up. She fucking hates Lou Diamond Phillips. I don't know why, but cannot stand him. And I'm like, I don't hate him. I just know he's in a lot of bad movies.
I would say probably the same reason why I hate Christian Bale. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's like, I just don't like your face. There's just something about
right.
you I don't like. And I was like, oh, yeah, Lou Diamond Phillips is in this shit? I was like, oh, yeah, bad.
Okay, now reading the description that you had about this, I already knew there was going to be some hookers or something.
Oh,
involved.
yeah.
And now on the poster, it says, temptation is a killer. So now you got these slutty bitches up in the club.
Slutty bitches in the club.
I got to shout to my girl, Alicia, because she showed me a video about some guy, and he's like, popping bitches on the dance floor. I have to show you that video sometime, because let me tell you, we didn't even make it through the whole video. It was that bad. But anyway, now you got some slutty bitches in the club in these little red mini dresses, and 2 guys that look like they should be on Brokeback Mountain just kind of hovering.
Yeah, it's another.
Why is night
poster.
spelled with K? Why is it spelled
like maybe
chivalrous knight?
Yeah, maybe the white dude, he's like the white knight, and Lou Diamond Phillips is like the villain. I don't know. It's probably some bullshit.
He's the pimp.
It's like Silk Stockings, the movie, or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see this bullshit. All right, now this one I had some umbrage with. All right, go ahead,
my
because
God.
I feel some type of way about this shit.
All right, the submission is
Flash.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
And this was sent to us by Doll M for Movie Podcast on Twitter. Oh, Dial. D-I-A.
Dial M for
Dear
movie.
God, I really need to get my
there's
eyes
this movie
checked.
called Dial M for Murder.
Okay,
and,
yep,
M
that
for
makes
movie, yeah.
much more sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Dial M for Movie Podcast on Twitter. Sorry, guys, didn't mean to butcher your name. And the synopsis says, although NASA scientists are claiming that an unexpected eclipse and strange hot hail, in quotes, are nothing to worry about, Dr. Hans Zorloff, yeah, there you go, Zarkov, knows better and takes football star Flash Gordon and travel agent Dale Arden, played by Melody Anderson, with him into space to rectify things. They land on a planet Mongo, where the Despot Ming.
Oh, wait, where are you?
What
We're the
heck?
Despot.
Oh, the Despot, yeah.
Yeah.
Ming the Merciless is attacking.
Ming the Muscle. Okay.
Oh, okay. Before my time.
You never seen Flash Gordon?
No.
Oh, God. Okay, go ahead. Finish it.
Anyways, is attacking Earth out of pure boredom. With the help of a race of Hawkmen, Flash and the gang struggle to save their home planet. Mm-hmm. No, the first time I ever heard anything about Flash Gordon was in the movie Ted, when he like pokes fun at him, and he's like idolized him. Mm-hmm. So
no, Flash Gordon. It is a bad, corny one of them space flicks that
I
were
wanna say,
trying to be
it
a
looks
Star
like
Wars
one of them
or
crappy
some shit.
1980s movies that
Yeah. Which actually, maybe Flash Gordon might have came out before Star Wars. Either way, it was in the vein of those kind of movies.
Sure.
And yeah, it is bad, but I'm gonna defend it, if for no other reason but nostalgia's sake.
I can see
I
that.
love Flash Gordon, so
I can see that.
I can't co-sign hating that one. I'm sorry, but I will admit it is bad. It is fucking bad.
It's one of those ones where you know it's bad and you watch it because you know it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see the poster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my. Pathetic Earthlings, who can save you now?
Yeah, Ming the Methodist. Yeah, I mean,
Music
it's,
by Queen, though. That's cool.
Yeah, like that Flash Gordon song, that Flash, that's Queen. That shit's, that's
I like
the
it.
dopest.
I mean, it doesn't look any cheesier than the Christopher Reeve Superman
Yeah,
cover.
yeah. You'll believe a man can fly.
Yeah. Kind of looks like a Doc Strange thing going on.
Yeah.
He's got the Captain Planet ring.
Right, and like them fucking Spock from Star Trek eyebrows going on and shit.
He's got the crazy ice castle from Superman, so...
Yeah, Flash got this old coiffed,
David,
hair shit.
David Hasselhoff
Right,
hair.
all blown out and shit. Like, yeah, it looked like he in a fucking band. Yeah, but yeah, no, I feel some type of way about it, but you're right.
I mean, I could see where it'd bring some nostalgia, him in his Alvin and the Chipmunks robe.
Damn.
Well, look, he's got an A on it.
Yeah, he do. He look like he's like rocking some Alvin and the Chipmunks like cosplay or some shit.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. All right. What's our next one?
Our next one is Rock Hard Zombies.
No, Hard Rock.
Hard Rock. Oh, Jesus. I'm telling you, them glasses again.
All right, them zombies are
Hard.
Like, is this a porn parody or a Rock Hard Zombies? Yeah. Brains and pussy.
Right. Hard Rock Zombies. And this is sent to us by Glitz Birchie.
Yeah, I think it's Glitz Barachi, but
Barachi.
I was like, okay.
All right. GLITZBAERCHI. And they are on Reddit.
Mm-hmm.
And Hitler culturists.
Cultists.
Yeah, there you go. Hitler cultists kill everyone in a heavy metal band, except for the lead singer, who brings them back to life as zombies. Oh my god.
And I was like, you know what? Just off of that synopsis of all the ones that we've seen so far, I was like, I'd actually kind of watch that because that just sounds crazy as hell.
That sounds
What does that say on the poster? They came from the grave to rock and rave
and misbehave.
Oh, God.
Coming out of the gravestone is a zombie hand with a guitar surrounded by like these cartoon skulls and these weird creepy green hands.
Yeah, like the whole thing, kind of like how
and
back
it says,
in the day,
"In rock we trust."
Right. What the fuck? What?
It does on the
Yeah, I know.
tombstone.
No,
says,
it does,
rock
but
we trust.
that doesn't make sense. That's not something that you put on your tombstone. That's like something they put on money. Like, it would have made more sense if it had been like "Rest in Rock" or something like "Rock in Peace" or something like that. Like, "In Rock we trust." What
I
the
guess.
fuck? Like, that don't even make. Which one of y'all crackhead ass motherfuckers put this shit together? Like, who wrote this shit? "In Rock we trust"?
I bet you it's Quentin Tarantino. Let me see.
You know, it's so funny. Of all the things that are wrong with this, that's the thing I'm getting hung up on. It's "In Rock we trust" on the tombstone. Like that, it's just weird. I don't know. It almost looks like it would be kind of like a fun comedy almost.
Almost.
Which it may be, because I know there was a couple that were kind of meant to be comedy, so...
We'll have to maybe check that one out.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean,
maybe.
Like I said on the last episode, if enough of our listeners contact us and say that they want us to watch one of these and review it, we will reluctantly do so.
Unless it's our next submission, and then I will gladly watch it over and over and over again, as I already have.
Which is?
Con Air, and when this was sent to us by Films Remembered Badly on Twitter, just paroled Army Ranger Cameron Poe is headed back to his wife, but he must fly home aboard a prison transport flight dubbed the Jailbird, with some of the worst criminals living, along with Diamond Dog and Baby O, Genius serial killer Cyrus, the virus Grissom, unleashes a violent escape plot. Mid-flight, secretly working with the U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, Poe tries to foil Grissom's plan.
All right. Tell us why you love it so much.
I mean, it's Nicolas Cage.
I was going to say, he's almost my indication of a bad movie, just kind of like, how...
I love Nicolas
Lou
Cage.
Diamond Phillips is. I love Nicolas Cage, too, but he's been in some pretty...
Well...
Did you see The Wicker Man?
Yes.
Did you see both the Ghost Rider movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I love the first one.
So bad.
The second one could go to hell.
It's so bad. We're like, Eva Mendes is like watching him like drive up the side of a skyscraper, and I'm like, I know you are like supernatural and shit, but I don't know if I've ever seen Ghost Rider do that. Maybe in a comic suit.
I like the first Ghost Rider.
I don't know. That's
But
just one
Con
of the
Air
characters.
here, John Cusack and John Malkovich.
I love all these guys.
Nicolas
too.
Cage.
That's like an ensemble cast. Like they're all good
Ving
actors.
Rhames.
I know. It's. Did Michael Bay do that one? Can we see on the poster?
I don't know, but we can ask Google.
Well,
I don't think he did.
either way, it feels,
that's
it don't matter.
Spielberg.
No,
not Spielberg.
Spielberg doesn't direct this bullshit. No, it just feels like a Michael Bay.
No, it's not.
Because he loves him some blowing some shit up and it's like gritty, or what he thinks is some gritty type storytelling. Yeah, no, but this I will say, I mean, I don't love Con Air. I don't think it's necessarily the most worst thing in the world. It's not
Jerry
offensive.
Bruckheimer.
Yeah, so yeah, basically
Blowing
Michael
shit
Bay's,
up.
Yeah, baby daddy and shit.
I knew when I said
Yeah.
the other that it wasn't right, but I knew
they
who
are
it was.
definitely cut from the same cloth for real.
Yep.
But no, it's like I said, the movie I'm kind of whatever about.
I liked it.
It doesn't offend me.
I like all the one-liners and
sure.
You know, you got Dave Chappelle's crackhead in there. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot he was in that too. Yeah. But no, my thing is, like I said, the movie doesn't offend me, but that is probably the best wig Nicolas Cage has had in any movie.
Oh, you know that wasn't a wig. That was weave. They had that shit glued up in there. That mullet he had going on.
Man, he got that receding hairline and that mullet, and it's just like, and he got a goatee in this one. I was like, because, they got to make him look like, a hardened criminal.
Sure.
And it's like,
sure. God. But he's still, I'm free, son, I'm free.
Isn't the dude Bubba from Forrest Gump in this too?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
God,
the friend that's been dying the whole movie.
Ensemble cast, I'm telling you, ensemble.
A great cast. I liked it, and I like when they take the asshole guy, FBI guy's car, and they attach it to the plane, and he's like, "Wasn't that your car? Can't be my car. My car's at the office." And then, John Cusack hands him the license plate at the end. And he's like, I was tired of that car anyway. In the beginning of the movie, he's all raving about this. Oh, it's like a $50,000 car and blah, blah, blah. He'd be like, you deserve that shit. But, I mean, that's just me. I have a special place in my heart for 90s nostalgia Nicolas Cage movies, so.
I mean, I love me some Nicolas Cage as well, but
yeah.
I will admit he is in a lot of bad movies. Oh, and then what was that more recent one that he did? Left Behind. Oh, God.
I like that one.
You get out.
That was not as bad
We are canceling this podcast.
No, that was not as bad as
notice.
Next.
Oh, damn, that's another one I forgot about.
Next was pretty bad.
Yeah, okay. See, it's...
Rage.
You can like Nicolas Cage, but he's in some bad fucking movies.
That's true. That's true. But, I mean, that was classic 90s movie. It hits me in the feels that it's on the list. All right, our next submission is Fateful Findings, sent by Pricekey on Reddit, Priceky. Hey, I don't think I butchered that one. A boy develops an amazing mystical power and uses them as an adult to hack government databases.
Now it's funny
Okay.
because the title, the synopsis is innocuous enough, but we're not going to watch the trailer, but when I show you the poster, you will see a familiar face. It's our friend, Neil Breen again.
Hell.
This is his movie before Twisted Pair, is Fateful Findings, and it is terrible.
I mean,
terrible.
before...
Sorry, Neil Breen, because I've like added him in all the episode tweets that I've put out, and I'm like, he gonna see this. He's like, why do they make fun of me and then hate my films?
Before I saw this, it kind of sounded a little interesting. Like, you know, you got the kid who probably grows up in poverty, and he has this gift, and then he's gonna turn it around to do good with his, you know, screw the government with his good powers.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm seeing the poster. That is not what's going down.
Mm-mm.
Like, I was picturing a inner city black kid, something, I don't know, but definitely not.
Not this bullshit. Hell no.
Not some Sarah Michelle Gellar wannabe, some dark-haired chick that looks like she should be a stripper, and then this Neil Breen dude.
Yeah, no. I haven't seen the movie. I've only seen the trailer. But, like, you see how at the bottom of the poster there's, like, all these laptops and shit? There's a scene in the movie where he's sitting, like, in his little room. I swear he has, like, 13 laptops. It's so fucking funny. He's, like, breaking them and throwing them into shit. And, like, there's a scene where he's trying to, like, because when I did the Dumb Shit of the Week post on Twitter, I had used the GIF of him trying to, like, drink some coffee as he's, like, kind of laying to the side, and he just, like, kind of spills it all over the laptop and himself and passes out. And it's so badly acted, and it just looks so... Like, the whole movie is pretty fucking bad in and of itself, but...
It looks like it would be.
But just the way... Honestly, the way he acts shit out makes it worse. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the here. That's him. He's trying to drink the coffee and then he passes out and spills it all over himself. And it's just like, it's so dumb. And it's like, no, who would do that? Like, who would drink like that?
Oh
and it's just like trying to be like, oh, you know, he's exhausted or he's been drugged or some shit. And it's just like, it's so stupid.
No.
But yeah, Neil Breen, you know, he has a plethora. Well, I think he only has 5 movies so far, but he has a good size library of bullshit ass movies. So if you just want to see something bad in general, just Google Neil Breen and just whatever you find, just start watching it. I'm telling you, like it. I guess for those who like horrible movies, it's gold. I guess if you're into that thing.
Yeah. All right. The next submission is Goblet of Gore. Sent by Gore Filth on Reddit.
Oh, I like their name. Gore Filth. Yeah, I like that.
A mystical chalice once used by the Vikings spreads death and destruction as it passes through the centuries.
Mm-hmm. Now you got to see the poster.
Okay.
It's almost like some abstract art type shit. Look at this. It's so crazy. It's like
what the fuck?
2 naked chicks and like a bunch of skulls they're standing on.
You remember the movie Army of Darkness?
Yeah, it kind of looks.
That's kind of
like
what it looks like.
It's like if Army of Darkness and 300 had a baby, like with
some Chinese
some anime
porn
type shit. Yeah, it's so weird looking. And I didn't watch the trailer to this one. I saw just a couple like images of it, and Goblet of Gore is a good title because it is. It's one of them bad, like, gory horror movies and shit, but it's really super gory. So, like, if you're squeamish, you may want to skip this one.
I would say, I like how on the one that we had a couple movies back, the titties were all, you know, overexposed, and you just saw the shape. Not this one. This one, you see a red shirt that's been clearly torn off, some chick licking her lips with no eyes, and big ol' fat nipples. Like, they didn't skimp out on nothing there.
Nope. They did extra shading and detail.
Yeah. Those are some pretty detailed nipples for the front of a normal movie.
No, and I think...
I say normal relatively because it is called Goblet of Gore, but...
And I think
a non-porno.
right. Well, we think it's not a porno. At least we haven't actually watched
I
it.
hope that it's not a porno.
But I mean, I guess the argument they can make is that it's animated, like it's hand drawn, so it's
Yeah.
not actual titties. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody drew these titties. So you
Still.
can just erase the titties. They're gone.
just put a...
Just overexpose them.
Yep. Put the overexposure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next one that we have is Zardoz, Zardoz. And this is sent in by Smell This Milk on Reddit. First off, smell this milk. All right. I'm not even going to go there. And the synopsis says, in the future, Earth is ruled by Eternals, an advanced secret sect of beings who reign over a savage group called Brutals. The Eternals have created a god named Zardoz to intimidate the Brutals, making them believe that killing is their natural state. However, Zed, a brutal warrior, changes that assumption when he enters the Zardoz monument and is captured by an Eternal. There, he learns the truth about the Eternals and their false god that rules society. First of all, Zed, like Zed from the Men in Black.
Right. Okay, so, all right. Poster looks weird. Some like acid trippy shit. Now, the thing that you don't know about
That guy.
that you don't know about this, what?
Okay. On the poster, there's a guy with like black thigh highs and a little red Speedo, and there's like red holsters across him. That is a card in Cards Against Humanity.
Is it?
I swear to God, we just played it the other night.
Is it?
The guy is standing there and he's got real long hair and he's looking like a Mexican dude.
Okay.
And he's got the two red holsters and the little red bikini bottoms and the thigh highs, and he's holding a pistol straight out. And he looks like he's in the desert.
Interesting.
And it was played, we just bought a couple expansion packs.
Uh-huh.
And it was played the other night when we played with the first time we played with a set of expansion packs. And of course it won because I don't remember what the question was, but the picture won.
Sure.
Because it was worth 1,000 words.
Sure. Well, what's
and
funny?
I had never seen that guy before.
Yeah, no, and I've never seen his movie either. But what's funny about that is that guy, that is Sean Connery.
No.
That is Sean Connery in like a Speedo.
Yeah, that's the picture.
Yeah, and he's got these hairy ass legs and thighs and shit, and it is so gross. It's just like, he's so hairy. It is some weird ass,
now I
like
know what
70s,
it's from.
like
Oh my God.
we was on some acid and all kind of shit. Like it's
and
bad.
I love how the poster says beyond 1984, beyond
2001,
beyond love, beyond death, and it looks like it's got the guy from Jumanji, the postal worker guy, made out of stone.
No, it
Yes.
looks like the face from God damn it, what was that show with the mountain and shit on Nickelodeon where you had to answer the questions and the big stone face talk to you?
Yes.
What is that called?
The island. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Oh god.
You're right.
What is the name of that show? Oh man, it's gonna bug me. You don't have to look it up.
No,
You
I
don't
have
look
to
it
because
up.
it's gonna bug me.
Oh god damn it. But anyway, the stone face dude on the poster, he looks like the thing from that. Like it's almost like uncanny.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. There we go. It wasn't
And
island
yes, it
shit.
does.
Yeah, he looks like the face from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yep.
And he's holding his hand out, and Sean Connery is in his Speedo and shit, pointing the gun at you, standing in his hand. And it's just a bunch of weird, like a weird, like one of them, like back when the Beatles were on drugs and shit, like one of them Yellow Submarine
It
album
really
covers or some
does.
shit. Like that's what the vibe I'm getting from Zardoz.
At least now I know where that card from Cards Against
Oh,
Humanity.
there you go.
comes
Yeah,
from.
see, it's like
That's-
it's ironic how that came around. Like
It
that.
really is. Because I swear this is 100% true, and I didn't even know.
Oh no.
I didn't know anything about the the Zardoz movie being in our show this week. So that's awesome. Next submission is Cowboy Killer. And this is sent to us by A7051 on Reddit. Great name making skills.
Right.
There,
he's like, I ain't even gonna try.
Like,
whatever.
just type in some random numbers.
Hey, it might mean something for all
Maybe.
It's code or some shit.
Yep. A cowboy from the Old West strolls into a small town for one last hurrah, causing havoc and forcing locals to take their own action.
Yeah, so I did watch the trailer to this one too, and it looks fucking hilarious. There's this dude, and like, I guess because in the trailer it didn't really give the vibe of that, but I guess he's like from, they say, the Old West. Like, he's like either a time traveler or some
Hopped in that
mystical,
DeLorean.
right, some like possessing type shit, and he's immortal or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But in the trailer, it is so funny because it just starts off and it's just him cackling with the two revolvers shooting people. And he's just, bah, bah, and it's fucking hilarious. It is so weird and it's so badly acted. And
oh, I didn't even see. Okay, so on the poster, you got this front image, which is a cowboy, and two pistols pointing up as if they were next to each other, barrel to barrel, and then the hilts pointed away from each other. And then, like, the more you look at it, you got this big ass set of eyes just perfectly placed in between the cowboy guy.
mm-hmm, yeah.
And so at first you just see the cowboy, and then you look at it and you got these big ass eyes in
That's
the background.
his eyes, though. That's the crazy ass face he's
They're
making.
his eyes?
When he's laughing and killing people, he's just
Okay.
Oh, I was like, oh man, this would be a good one. Like, I don't want to necessarily watch this, but I think if of all of them, from what I've actually seen, that one would probably be like, yeah, I would probably have a good time.
Entertain the idea of it. Can you
that
imagine
one looks
getting
bad.
stoned and watch that movie?
Right, I know.
That would be
And
hilarious.
just smashed and just watch Cowboy Killer. Because it was funny because the title was misleading. Because before I watched the trailer, I'm thinking like, oh, it's about somebody who kills cowboys. No, he's a cowboy and he's a killer.
I don't get that vibe.
Yeah, the title's misleading.
No, like when you said cowboy killer.
You think they kill cowboys?
No.
No, what?
I thought of a killing cowboy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I was going to say, I mean, because, okay. If someone says you're a dog killer, you don't think, oh, it's a dog that's killing people.
No.
You think that someone kills
Right.
dogs. So why not cowboy killer? You think that they kill cowboys?
I don't know.
Because I was just like, all right, like woman killer. It's like, oh, it's a woman that kills people. It's like, no, they kill women is what I would assume. I don't know. You should see the way DJ Melly Mel's looking at me right now. She's like, fuck you.
No, I don't know. All right. Our last
She's
submission
like, fuck
here.
you.
Our last submission is called Live Wire, and it is sent to us by 420 Gulliver on Reddit. Ready? Livewire is a little-known masterpiece of bad action movies featuring a pre-Bond Bronson, a clown assassin. Oh, hell.
Yeah, no,
Nope, you got me there.
No, it's funny because he actually gave this synopsis himself, and I was like,
Ugh.
this was so good. I was like, I'm just going to use this.
All right. Pre-Bond Bronson, a clown assassin, a tender love story between a man and his robot slave, actor, activist Ron Sylvia being impaled on a fence, boobs, an extended cut with extra boobs,
Oh, it was good.
a hilarious mother-in-law character who could be the prototype of Claudette from The Room, a banging soundtrack, banging in all caps, by the way, and an Oscar quality
Shit's banging.
reading of the line, boom, here comes the judge. And that's just off the top of this dude's head.
That's hilarious. Like, boobs, an extended cut with extra boobs. I was like, that's awesome. I was like, that is a great synopsis. I was like, way to sell the movie. Good job.
Right. Oh my god.
And the poster of this shit is rough. Like,
Pierce Brosnan, Ron Silver, Ben Cross, the U.S. freaking
Yeah, it's like the White House in the
White House
background.
on fire.
Yeah, it's like an explosion and some bodies flying. I think that's supposed to be a fuse that's
It looks
going
like a
across
wire.
the thing. Yeah. I thought it was barbed wire at first. That was
Like
on
a
fire.
down pyre line.
I thought-
Down pyre line.
Yeah, I thought it was like a barbed wire that was on fire, and I was like, wait, that don't make
And
sense.
it looks like it's gonna be a firecracker under just Pierce Brosnan's head.
Yeah, it says live wire. Your body is 93% water.
No
one is safe. I'm like, what the fuck kind of weird? It's like, if you didn't know a synopsis to this or seen a trailer or something, and you just saw this poster, like in a movie, it's like, what the fuck is this movie about? It's like, these motherfuckers talking about live wire, and
Honestly,
I see the White House
explosions. Looks like a water slide. So you got the White House in the back, and it looks like a water slide of explosion, and these two dudes are hanging out in the water slide there.
I guess, and then it's like, then you got the fuse going across
And
the
then
front,
a random
and then
Pierce Brosnan face.
right, and then they give the subtitle, your body is 93% water, no one is safe. Like, the hell are you selling with this? Like, there's like so many conflicting images in words on this poster, and it's like, I don't know what this movie is about.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was like Die Hard in Washington, but then it's something about like water.
And there's boobs in there.
Right. Hey, with extra boobs.
And extra
extended
boobs.
titty cut. Right, fuck the Zack Snyder's cut. I want the extended titty cut of
Right.
everything. From here on out, please.
And then that banging soundtrack.
Like, banging. Here comes the judge.
I was going to say, I almost want to just find the scene where it's just like, boom, here comes the judge.
Is Jason Momoa in this movie? Is Aquaman in this shit?
I think it's a little bit before his time based on the age of Pierce Brosnan in that
Yeah.
picture.
My man, boom, here comes the judge.
I can totally see him saying
Banging.
it, though.
My man, banging.
Oh, my God. I could so see Momoa saying
oh,
it.
God, Justice League is
Okay,
terrible.
so Jason, if you're listening, I think you should do
Which he is.
a reboot of Livewire, and I'm gonna need you to send us a clip of you saying, "Boom! Here comes the judge,
And not the, it's D-A.
D.
Here comes duh.
the judge."
Welcome to Earth with an F. Like, the fuck? No.
Welcome to Earth. And, you
with
got
an
it.
F.
You got it. That's a Will Smith 90s right there. I like it. Out of that entire list, that might be the one that I...
Livewire.
Yeah.
Of all of those. Okay.
All of those.
Okay.
That might be the one that I actually go watch
Okay.
in my spare time that I don't have.
Right.
Because adulting sucks. All you kids listening, and you're in a hurry to grow up, don't.
No, never grow
It's
up.
not all it's cracked up to be.
No.
You're broke and you got to pay bills, and
Mm-hmm.
you think you have all this freedom, but you really don't. No, just stay a kid. But be a smart kid. Don't eat Tide Pods
Yeah.
or snort condoms.
Or set yourself on
And
fire.
please, for the love of God, stop doing the Kiki challenge. I just had to say it.
Yeah.
Because, no. That's the new thing, is the Kiki
Oh, yeah,
challenge.
no, I've been seeing it. Kiki, do you love me? Ah, poof! Like, yeah, you dumb motherfucker. Like,
Be like, no. No, he doesn't. He doesn't love you. All right. Well, remember that Dumb Shit of the Week is your show, and so please send us in your submissions. Every week we'll compile them, read them. Shout out to you for sending it. So keep them coming, and you can always send it to us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks, or email it to us at officialoglfg@gmail.
okay, so I have a secret.
Ooh.
All right. Secret, I've got a secret. No, okay. So, I have a secret.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I am secretly a conspiracy theorist.
What?
Okay, so what I mean by that,
I've known you for a long time. I don't think you're...
No.
Did somebody call you this, or are you like self-proclaimed?
No, I am self-proclaimed because
Oh, God.
that's my dirty little secret. Is that okay? Let me clarify.
I'll say all the things I know about you, and this is how I'm finding out.
I know, right? I wouldn't say that I am a conspiracy theorist per se,
Okay.
But I do enjoy conspiracy theories because I don't like actively believe them, and I'm not like one of these like crazy people that are trying to like take pictures outside of Area 51 and all that kind of shit. Like that's not necessarily my thing per se. But I do find them fun.
Okay.
I guess you could say I think of them as like fun stories.
Okay.
Which, you know, I think that's okay. Right?
Sure. As long as you're not crazy about them.
Right. She's like, you weird, crazy motherfucker. No, okay. So,
is there any one in particular that you...
I have a few favorites.
Okay.
Like I said, and a lot of these I don't necessarily believe, but if I would believe any, it would probably be these over others. Now, some of these conspiracy theories, I tried to pick ones that wouldn't be too controversial. Like, we're not going to talk about the, you know, fucking, like, oh, the Sandy Hook was a hoax and all that kind of shit. Like, we're not, you know, getting into that kind of shit, you know, like, no.
Here at One Giant Leap for Geeks, we try to avoid political posts.
Right. So it's like, I don't want to get down that rabbit hole because that's just offensive on so many different levels. But conspiracy theories like that and people who like purport that kind of shit, I think is very toxic, and they're just really toxic people that do that kind of shit. And yeah, it's like, no, I won't even give them the time of day for my attention for those kind of conspiracy theories. But the other ones are pretty innocent enough and just fun. So, okay.
If you mention the NASA one, I'm going to go ballistic.
No. Well, just hear me out.
All right.
Okay. So lately as well, to like how this kind of came about is lately I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, you know, in general.
Sure.
But I've been listening to a lot of conspiracy theory podcasts. And so shout out to the conspiracy guys, the Conspiracy Theories podcast, Conspired. I've been listening to them a lot. And it's actually funny because I'm upset that I chose this episode to do this because Piping Hot Tea with Vince and Emily, the podcast that gave us our 50th 5-star, you know, rating, they actually did a whole episode about conspiracy theories like this week. And I was like, God damn it. I was like, of all the times I'm going to pick to do, and their show is not about conspiracy theories.
It's a
conspiracy theory. Yeah, right. It's a
yeah.
conspiracy. Yeah, it was all a part of the plan. No, and shout out to you guys if you're listening. Thank you again for the review.
Always.
But, no, so this was not done on purpose. I didn't know that they were going to do this. And I feel kind of dumb for doing it now. But still, I wanted to talk about it because it's just been on my mind a lot lately. And I was like, you know what? I should talk about this.
Why not? It's your show.
Mm-hmm. Right. Sure. Who's stopping me, right? Just like turn this shit off. But okay. Conspiracy theories that I believe may have some validity to them. Okay. So I could see how this could be possible. Okay. All right. So, all right. The first one. Now, the first one's kind of controversial, but this is like one of the first ones that I ever really kind of got me into conspiracy theories in the first place.
Okay.
And I'm like, to a degree, there are some things about it that I think are fishy. But 9/11 was an inside job. That's probably my favorite one. And one of the ones that I give a lot of credence to, because there are things about it. I don't necessarily believe that the government per se caused 9/11. Don't look at me like that, because if you can see the face that DJ Melly Metal is giving me right now, it's okay.
I'm listening with an open mind.
Okay. These are my points about the whole 9/11 thing. These are the things that bother me about it. Okay. There's only ever been 2 buildings that have ever collapsed, like 2 skyscrapers that have ever collapsed due to fire. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they were both the World Trade Center towers. It has never happened before. Skyscrapers in other parts of the world and other countries have burned for hours. And I mean, not what we saw on 9/11, like smoke and shit like that. I mean, just flames like engulfing the entire building and never collapsed. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit fell off it, debris and shit like that, but the building did not fall to its foundations. And then the fact that World Trade Center 7, which is not the Twin Towers, but that other building that fell, that building was never hit by a plane, but it collapsed to its foundations. And it's like, even if you could make me believe that fire could melt steel, high-grade steel, and collapse a skyscraper to its foundations, why did the plane, or the building that never got hit by a plane, why did that one fall as well? That's the kind of shit that makes me go, And then the fact that the building had been bought by a new owner who had just put a new insurance claim on a World Trade Center right before the attacks happened, and the fact that on 9/11, the Air Force were doing practice drills of a plane hitting a skyscraper that very same day. So when they got the reports that the World Trade Center towers had been hit, they literally said, is this real or is this a part of the drill? So it's things like that that make me kind of go like, And then we used that whole excuse after we were attacked to make the Patriot Act and gave, we created the NSA, which gave us a lot of, shit into people's privacy and gave the government a lot more power than what they already had. We got the excuse to go to war in Iraq and try and get control of oil over there and political influence. So there's a lot of things about that one that made me kind of go like, okay. But you still don't seem convinced. The way you're looking at me, you're still kind of like, I don't know about that one. But go ahead, tell me how, what do you think about that one? Go, speak.
I'm trying to collect my thoughts in a manner that's gonna make sense and not make me look like an idiot, which, I tend to do on my own anyways. Especially tonight, man. Something's up. Anyways, okay. You seem to know more about it than I do.
I've watched a few documentaries
Okay.
and researched it some. Just like I said, this was like my gateway into conspiracy theories. So
Okay.
this one is probably the one that I have researched the most, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem to know more about it than I do. 'Cause that happened. I was like 10.
Sure.
11.
I mean, hey, I was
10. I was 10.
I think that was 2001,
Uh-huh.
so I would have been a sophomore. No, either a freshman or a sophomore in high school. So I was like either 14 or 15 when it happened. So yeah.
Are you really that much older than me?
Yeah. I'm 32.
Yeah, you share 5 years older than me. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was 10. I didn't.
Sure.
It was sad that day, and then that's kind of.
Yeah, like you
I
didn't
didn't
like,
really look into it. I didn't question it. I just kind of.
Yeah, it just happened.
It happened. It was sad. We were all sad and banded together for what.
I will say
8 years or so.
Yeah, I will say it was nice how the patriotism of the country kind of came together and everybody kind of like randomly at sporting events and shit just would start chanting like USA and shit like that. So that was kind of cool. Then it kind of got weird after a while because then it kind of became xenophobic and racist and shit towards, Muslims and shit like that. So yeah, like it got ugly fairly quickly, but
well, I mean, it didn't help that we went and invaded their countries and
yeah, to be fair, and we didn't find Osama bin Laden until a good decade later, but yeah, whatever,
right.
Semantics, right? But yeah, so that one is probably my favorite. That one is probably the one I've researched the most about. And I didn't even talk about the plane that hit the Pentagon and how the footage, the FBI went and took all the security camera footage and then released it, but it looks like it's been edited because you don't actually see the plane hit the building. It's just like a small snippet of the nose of something comes into frame, and then there's a few frames missing, and then there's an explosion. And it's like, some people theorize that, there was a missile shot at the Pentagon and it blew up because they had just made a press conference the day before September 11th about how a few $1 trillion were unaccounted for in funds at the Pentagon and shit like that. And then that area where those files and shit were kept was what was hit when it happened. So there's a lot of like suspicious-y things about it. So, I mean, I know I probably sound crazy and people are like, yep, writing this motherfucker off is loony as shit right now. But so, I mean, that's, and I mean, and some of these things have been debunked and things like that, but it's just a bunch of things about 9/11 that I thought were kind of fishy. Like the fact that they found the passport of one of the hijackers that they said was on the plane. And it's like, you're telling me after 2 skyscrapers fell and there's all this fire and debris and all that shit, and then all that, you found a totally intact passport. And it was like, look, we found it. He was on the plane. That's our guy. And then subsequently, since they identified who the terrorists were on the plane, a few of those people have been found to still be alive later in other countries and shit, and they have them on like security cameras from like other airports and shit. And it's like, I thought y'all said he was one of the hijackers on the plane and killed people and shit, but he's in Dubai right now, like chilling. But hey, whatever. Maybe they with Tupac. Who knows? But anyway, going on to the next one. So one of the other ones that I like is that, and this one, it's almost gone past a conspiracy theory to the point where I just think it's just a conspiracy, period. I don't think it's even a theory no more. But the CIA was behind the crack epidemic. So there's this whole thing, and I'm not going to get into all the details of it, but back during like the Kennedy era and shit, we were having issues with like gangs and like corruption and shit in South America and yada yada. The CIA had gotten involved, and they were trying to support this rebel group that was trying to overthrow the government. But then when I think it was Nixon or somebody like that found out about it, he wanted them to stop doing it, this, that, and the other. But then they kept supporting the rebels by using drug money to give them guns and support and shit like that. And they were letting the drugs be trafficked into America. And a lot of it ended up coming into California, since it's so close to, like Texas and shit like that, in Mexico and the South. And crack really exploded during that same time. And I mean, and there has been like documents that have been declassified since then talking about how, they had kind of done some pretty shady shit and some dealings and were helping drug dealers and shit like that to try and catch other people and this, that, and the other. Well, basically, crack cocaine is just cocaine, made into a, hardened form. Mm-hmm. It's like cocaine concentrate.
Right.
But a lot of people feel like, and even one of the guys who worked for, I believe, it was Nixon's White House, said that the whole reason that they started the war on drugs in the first place was because there was a lot of dissent in the country at the time. Like, people were protesting current wars that we were in and just the way politics was going, the economy, discrimination against minorities and gays and stuff like that.
Oh, so now it was today's times.
Pretty much, yeah. And they were trying to use crack to break up these communities and make harder drug sentences and shit like that, because that's how we started minimum mandatory sentences and all that kind of shit was back then. And that one, there's a lot of declassified information that's come out about that to where I feel like that's kind of beyond theory point and we're into fact at this point. But anyway, again, I don't want to get too bogged down into like the super big details of it, but the fun part of this will be when we get to the ones that I think are just batshit crazy. But then another one of the ones that I like is that there is a secret organization who controls the whole world. Now, you can call them Freemasons, the Illuminati, whatever. But that is one of my favorite ones because honestly, almost every conspiracy theory ties back to the Illuminati in some form or another. Anything that happens, Illuminati. Illuminati confirmed, like, on everything. Like, anytime somebody, Jay-Z, throwing up the rock, Illuminati. Beyonce was in some weird dress, Illuminati. Somebody covered their eye in an album cover, Illuminati. Kanye said, Illuminati, in a song and some shit. He a part of Illuminati. So, any of the secret organizations that rule the world, conspiracy theories, I always think those are fun. Because I'm like, hey, and could there be a small group of, the richest people and most influential people in the world behind the scenes running shit? Could be. I mean, shit, weirder things have happened. I'm like, why not? If you can consolidate power to a small group of people who have a lot of power and influence over other governments and shit like that, yeah, I could see that. I feel like you're gonna think I'm crazy by the end of all this shit. Just because of the way you're just looking at me, you're just like, this motherfucker done lost his goddamn mind. That's the face DJ Melly Mel is giving me right now. I just want to make that known while we're discussing these conspiracy theories. Okay. And then, yeah, I think, that's... okay. There is one more. I do like the ones and kind of believe to a degree, not necessarily that there's aliens at Area 51, but that, there is some advanced technology that the government is developing there that they don't tell people about. I mean, to the degree that it's got to be something, because there's a sign outside the gate of Area 51 that says trespassers will be shot on sight. So,
right.
When security has a license to kill at a facility somewhere, it's like, you probably doing some, borderline shady shit over there. Like, who knows? It's like some people think, oh, we got aliens there. Other people think, oh, we have alien technology and we've reverse engineered it somehow, and that's how we've made our technology. Because it's like, hey, we could have never figured out Wi-Fi on our own. It's like, hey, we could have never figured out, glow sticks, without alien technology. So, and some of them are, like I said, some of the theories are dumb, but I still think they're fun. Like I said, I look at them as fun stories, if nothing else. Some of them, I give some credence to. Then I guess my last two ones that I like and or give some credence to is that the government tries to brainwash people.
No, that I believe.
Yeah. There's been, MK Ultra is a thing. It was a program. They were giving people LSD and shit and trying to mind control them and give them suggestive shit. Motherfuckers went crazy and killed themselves and all that shit from doing it. And they were doing it on unsuspecting people who didn't even know that they were being drugged and shit, because they just wanted to see, ooh, I wonder what would happen if we slipped it in this drink and just didn't tell them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of shit. So that I almost completely believe.
I'll say they kind of lightly touched on that in... Do you remember the movie Josie and the Pussycats?
Mm-hmm.
Where they were like slipping in all this subliminal...
And stuff into their music and stuff, yeah.
And I mean, I can kind of see that.
The government has done that for sure.
And then you like take a step back and look at real life and you're like, how the hell did this get popular?
No, there's an example of, okay, so way back in the day when like TV was first becoming a thing, it wasn't like 24 hours. There was a block of shows that would play on a few channels, and then at some point in the night, TV would just go off.
Right, it was off from like 12 to 8 a.m. or something.
Some shit, yeah, and it would just be either the emergency broadcasting thing up there, or it would just be like, please stand by or something, whatever. Well, they used to do this sign-off thing at the end of TV for the night. And it was basically this like patriotic thing. I think it was the national anthem, right? And
I think so.
And it was just playing over like pictures of the flag and like the Statue of Liberty in America, and like the New York skyline and all that kind of stuff. Well, the letters kind of like would scroll across, and form the next line of the song. Well, if you took that footage and somebody slowed it down, when the letters are flipping, they're saying other things behind the lyrics to the national anthem. So, like, one of them is like, trust the government and like, obey the government and, like, don't, resist authority and this kind of shit. Go shopping and, just like other shit like that, like help the economy, be patriotic. And it was like they were broadcasting that shit to American citizens. And at the time, there wasn't like recording equipment like we have now, and you couldn't slow shit down. So they just figured it would just go, and no one would ever, know that they were pretty much being hypnotized into being docile and patriotic and malleable. So I'm like, yes, the government ain't shit on multiple levels. So I'm like, do I believe that they're trying to do something to get us to be manipulated more? Yeah, I believe it.
You're gonna get our show pulled.
We're gonna go on a list. Look. Their whole podcast literally just about conspiracy theories. If we get flagged for this, then y'all missing a whole bunch of motherfuckers y'all need to be looking at. All right. Shout out to the conspiracy theory podcast I named off earlier. Like, go raid them first. Sorry, guys.
Well, damn.
Right. Hey, no hate. It's all love, but I don't want to have to go to jail. I'm too pretty for
I
jail.
would say I won't make it.
Right, I won't make it. They fuck
Ty
my
and I
ass
have
up.
already had this conversation about if we ever went to jail, because he's had dreams about going to jail and whatnot. Long stories. But I told him, I said, yeah, I will
I
give
ain't
you
built
up
for
in a
prison.
heartbeat.
Right, sorry.
I said, if you ever do anything stupid, not that I think you will,
Sure.
but if you do,
I'm testifying
I said,
against your ass.
don't tell me a motherfucking thing, because I will sing like a songbird. I am not somebody to be like, nah, I don't know what happened. I'm not covering for your ass.
Right.
I don't care who you are.
We're gonna give you 6 months in prison. It was Tyler.
Yep.
Like, damn, that you
Here's
ratted me out
here's
quick.
his information. Here's his social security number.
Right, this is where he
here-
work at. His schedule for the next couple
Yeah,
weeks. His mama house, like all that shit. Like, damn.
Yeah, I am not the person to be like, hey, I gotta tell you something. I just like did X, Y, and Z and it's illegal. Nah, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Now,
And I am not good at pretending that I don't know.
yeah. Now, I mean, have been in situations where it's like I've been like threatened with some kind of punishment if I didn't tell on somebody, but and I've stuck up for people in the past, but prison, no,
No.
no, hell no.
I am singing like a songbird.
Sorry.
Yep.
Anyway, so those are the ones that I either just enjoy overall and or believe to some degree.
Okay.
Now,
See, I don't give stuff like that thought.
yeah,
I mean,
it takes a certain type of person, I think, to be involved with conspiracy
I know
theories
that
or
they're
like
I
them.
know that they're there, and I know
Sure.
that like the theories are out there, but I'm not one of these people that sits and thinks about stuff like that. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking, man, I wonder the specifics of 9/11 or the specifics of this, that, and this. Could just be my personality type. It could just be that I have other things to focus on.
Wow, I love how you're like, yeah, I have better ways to spend my time, Michael, than be thinking about this dumb shit.
Hey, I mean, if it makes you happy, then
It does. I rather enjoy them.
well, see,
And like I said,
I don't hate on how other people enjoy
Sure.
their time. Just not my cup of tea.
hey, totally understandable. But I like I said, I enjoy conspiracy theories, but I think I enjoy the bad ones the most.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are just like y'all motherfuckers need to lay off the bath salts, like, because y'all just talking some crazy shit now. So
Smoking
these,
that crack.
so these are just some of the ones that are just bad that I don't believe, and then there's just some batshit crazy ones.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these are pretty borderline batshit crazy. But flat earthers, I can't fuck with
Oh
y'all
my God.
on no level. That
Nope.
flat earth shit, I can't look. And it's funny because Conspired and the conspiracy theory guys and pretty much like all the conspiracy theory podcasts I've listened to have addressed it at some point or another. And the consensus is pretty much like, y'all are just fucking crazy. Like, come on now. Like, and my whole thing with the whole flat earth thing, it's like, what purpose does it serve for us for the government or scientists and NASA and all this other shit? What purpose does it serve them to pretend that the earth is round?
Right.
I'm like, what difference does it fucking make? If it's flat, if it's a plate and the sun and the moon just crisscross over it, or if it's a ball and we go around the sun and shit, it's like, what a difference does it make? It's like, has your life changed on any level because you proved that the earth was not round? Like,
Right.
what difference does it make? And then my thing is like, so what keeps the oceans from overflowing off the sides?
Into
And what
space.
keeps you from walking off the earth if
Right.
you go in one direction so far? It's just like, ugh. So I can't even get with y'all on that flat earth shit. So I lost respect for Chance the Rapper. And I want to send a satellite up. I just want the answers. Either way it go, he was trying to raise money to send a satellite up to take pictures of the earth to prove whether or not the earth really was flat. Because
They
we don't have them already.
satellites
No.
that already have pictures.
You don't understand, DJ Melly Mel. They are faked. Okay,
Oh,
NASA has
because
put.
they're government.
Yeah,
Right.
see, the Illuminati controls NASA, and they put a fisheye camera lens on the camera to make the appearance that it was round, when in reality,
So if a private
it's flat.
individual does it,
They can learn
then
the
it's
truth.
unbiased. And I gotcha, 110%.
So much so to the point where a guy built a rocket like the Rocketeer style,
Yeah.
and put it on his back and try to fly into space to see if the world is flat or not, to
I
see
heard about
the
that guy.
curve of the horizon. And I'm like, for one, you would have to be so high in the air to see this.
Mm-hmm.
First off, you would have to be higher than commercial airplanes fly. And you're on a rocket on your back. It's like, dude, you would have died. Even if you would have got up there. Right, and it was like, what was your plan on coming back down? Exactly, because I don't think you could just open up a parachute. Like, you would probably burn up. Oh, God, he was, okay.
I just lit a rocket. Rockets explode!
Jesus. Like I said, so I can't even fuck with y'all on this flat earth shit. Another one, which you were saying, you know, NASA. The moon landing was faked. I can't get with that one. I'm like,
Thank you.
Again, what, I mean, I could kind of see you making the argument of, because my first thing is always with these conspiracy theories, well, who would benefit from this? Why would someone do this? And I guess the argument for that is, it was during the Cold War, we were in a space race with the Russians, and we wanted to prove that our technological prowess was better than anyone else's, and we wanted to be the first to get to the moon. So even though we didn't have the technology quite yet to get there, we had to make the appearance seem that we had done it, because Kennedy had, you know, came out in a speech and said, like, you know, within, you know, the next 4 years, like, we will put a man on the moon. And it's like, well, the president then came out and internationally swore that we were going to do it. So it's like, even if we can't get there, we got to pretend like we did that shit. And I mean, I guess so, but again, how did that benefit us? And I mean, I guess you could make the argument, I suppose, that kind of helped tensions with us and Russia, because they were like, well, shit, if they can do that, we probably shouldn't fuck with them. And they probably got missiles that they can shoot from the moon now, or who fucking knows? Like, I don't know. They got a big giant laser on the side of the moon and they can just shoot at the country. Like, who knows?
Got actual sharks with freaking lasers attached to their freaking heads.
Yeah, because people have like, oh, but there's radiation belt around the planet, which there is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, well, the astronauts couldn't have survived, traveled through that. They would have died from all the radiation and blah, blah, blah. And you know...
no, they didn't die. They just come back as the Hulk.
Right. Some Fantastic Four shit. They all come back with powers. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one giant leap for superpowers, I guess.
Why not?
And then another one of the dumb ones is celebrities are all in the Illuminati. Like I said earlier, Jay-Z, Beyonce, Eminem, Kanye. Pick a celebrity, Christina Aguilera, Taylor Swift, all these motherfuckers, they all Illuminati. And I'm like, it always doesn't make sense to me, because the arguments that they make is like, oh, the symbolism in their music videos and their albums and the clothes they wear, and if you listen to their lyrics, they're talking about worshiping the devil and all this other weird shit. And I'm like, the reason that one doesn't hold water for me, for one, is if the Illuminati was a thing and you're trying to have this secret organization, like, it's not a good look to have everybody and their mama being in your organization. Like, if all the celebrities and all the musicians and all the models and everybody else, if they're all in the Illuminati, it's probably not that secret of a group, man. It's like,
Right.
You can't have every entertainer in every genre be Illuminati. Like, it don't work like that. Second, I seriously doubt that if these people are the richest, most powerful people in the world with all the influence, that they would let Jay-Z into their ranks. You know what I'm saying? Not to say Jay-Z, look, his bank account in Beyonce's is nothing to sneeze at. But these people are expendable to a degree compared to, like, the Rupert Murdochs of the world and shit like that. Like, they have money that will never run out. Like, Jay-Z and them have a finite amount of cash that they're going to burn through. So those, like, all the celebrities are Illuminati shit. That's dumb. The lizard people ones, I think those are stupid. Where it's like there's people in the government,
In the
celebrities and shit.
sewers.
No, that there are aliens from another planet that look like what we would consider a lizard, and they are secretly either killed and taken over the bodies of these celebrities, and or they make themselves look like humans, and then they go on to be influential people or whatever. It's stupid. Mel, don't question it. It's dumb, okay? Don't look at me like that. I didn't come up with this shit. I'm just telling you it's out there, okay? It's the internet. There's a lot of weird corners out there, okay? I'm just saying.
Okay.
The Mandela effect. Do you know about that one?
No idea.
The Mandela effect is a really dumb one that
Is that anything like the butterfly effect?
kind of, but no. The Mandela effect is basically this theory that in some way, shape, or form, there's a bunch of different theories on how this has happened, but somehow we have either gone into a parallel universe or there's a parallel universe in our own that have merged somehow. Because people remember things incorrectly, and somehow they've extrapolated that out into this whole crazy conspiracy theory. Basically, the Mandela effect is Nelson Mandela did not die in prison. Okay, Nelson Mandela, or he did, or I don't. Basically, people think that Mandela was dead when he wasn't, or they thought he was alive when he wasn't. One of the two, okay? And then it just bleeds over into other things, like, say, for example, what is the line that Darth Vader says to Luke in the Star Wars movies? The famous line that everybody knows. What's the line?
Luke, I am your father.
He never says that in the movie. He says, no, I am your father. He never says, Luke, I am your father. But everybody remembers it as Luke, I am your father. And that's what the Mandela effect is. We remember it being one way, but something's changed our universes and realities, and now it's different. It's like, I always remember it being that way, but now it's not. And if you go look at all the old pictures, it's changed and shit. And it's like, really?
Somebody tried to prove that when they said that Sinbad was in a movie where he was a genie.
Yeah, Shazam. And it's like, no.
They remember Sinbad being a genie.
In a Shazam
Sinbad's
movie.
like, I have never played a genie in my entire career.
And I think people are misremembering it because Shaquille O'Neal, the basketball player, was in a movie where he played a genie called Kazam.
Correct.
And I think that's where people are getting that from. But it's just all these little examples of everyday dumb things that don't matter, where it's like, well, I remember it being this and now it's that. Mandela effect. And I'm like, you could just be remembering it wrong, or a mass. And it's like, well, all these people can't be. And I was like, yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Because if one person remembers something wrong, and it's kind of like that telephone line effect where someone tells you one thing, you tell someone else and someone else and someone else, and by the time it gets to the last person, it's completely different than what it was before. So if one person starts off by saying, Luke, I am your father, and then you say, Luke, I am your father, and everybody starts saying it, we all assume that's what it was, when in reality it was never that, but the first person that said it wrong, we all just copied them, and so now we're all assuming wrong information. So Mandela effect ones, those are just stupid to me, because I was like, really, if we were in a parallel universe or our universe had merged with another one, are these the things that would change?
Ignoring the scientific fact that your brain just pieces things together. It's not a movie that plays up there that just, like, you remember pieces and then your brain just kind of fills in the gaps.
Exactly. Like,
and
no one
fills
has
in with what makes sense.
Yeah, no one has like a photographic even people who have photographic memories, it's not perfect.
No.
You remember snippets of it, and
more
like
so
you
than
said,
the general public, but
exactly. And like you said, your brain kind of fills in the blanks,
right?
And your memory can be altered and influenced by other things.
Oh, absolutely.
People can suggest something to you, like, "Are you sure they didn't have blonde hair?" And you'd be like, "You know what? Maybe they did have blonde hair." And then you'll start remembering
That's
it.
why
with that.
eyewitness testimony in crimes is.
It's not reliable at all. Even though people have been convicted for years off of eyewitness testimony, it's not.
Eyewitness testimony is
not
like
credible.
the last resort.
Yeah,
it's not credible. It's not even.
Nope. Because like I said, suggestion and all that kind of shit can alter the way you remember things.
Do you remember in the 80s hearing about like the demonic possession daycares and shit?
Yeah.
That was an example of you can suggest some shit and it can be completely false, but
yeah, and people will
witch hunts, the demonic baby possession. For those of you that don't know, in the 80s it was a big thing that one daycare had this guy that was like molesting the kids at the daycare or something, And this one daycare said they were like training for a cult or something, if I remember right. Well, then it spread. It was like wildfire. Every daycare was, oh, they're brainwashing your kids, and oh, they're molesting your kids, and it just got crazy. All these people went to jail for nothing because they didn't do nothing.
Yep.
But the parents had heard about it from some, Jimmy John down the road, and he knew, and it happened to their kid, and little Susie, and we're gonna coach them and tell them that it happened to them, and make them think that it happened to them, and
yeah, like you said, that's the perfect example of coaching them.
I'll say, that's psychological.
But yeah, so but the Mandela effect people, they don't want to hear that shit. They want to believe that when CERN started the Hadron Collider, we opened up a black hole and was sucked into another dimension and all this shit. And it's like, y'all are going way out there to explain that you don't remember that he said, no, I am your father, instead of Luke, I am your father.
And it makes sense that he would say Luke. He's standing there. He's facing Luke, talking to Luke.
Yeah.
He's got this deep... Who the fuck knows?
And it's funny, too, because James Earl Jones, the actor who does the voice for Darth Vader, and, people have asked him in, interviews and stuff, to say the line, and he even says, Luke, I am your father.
Right.
And he's the guy who said the line in the movie, but it's because the cultural zeitgeist remembers it as Luke. That's what he hears all the time, so he's like, that must have been what I said. Okay, sure, Luke, I am your father. Right. And it's like, if you actually sit down and watch Star Wars... We didn't merge with another dimension. We're not in a parallel universe.
No.
We just... It's like, okay, because this is my argument.
I would say
this is my biggest argument to shut that whole thing down.
What's that damn movie that we watched?
What?
It's not Cloverfield.
No. Cloverfield Paradox, hell no.
It ain't Cloverfield.
No, this is my biggest argument against that whole theory. If the Mandela effect was a real thing, why is it only these small... don't really matter things that have been changed? Why is it just, such and such is spelled differently than what I thought it was, or this person was supposed to be in a movie that doesn't exist? Why isn't it not Mount Rushmore don't exist in this universe now, or hey, I remember the Eiffel Tower being in Paris, not in London, or the pyramids are upside down or some shit? It's like something major where you're like, holy shit, this was not like this before. Something has changed. Something is wrong. No, it's, Oscar Mayer is spelled different than what I remember it being spelled. Some people remember it being M-A-E-R and it's just M-A-R or some shit. Whatever the fuck. Whatever the current spelling is. It's like, well, I remember it being another way. Mandela effect. And it's like, well... No,
you're just a dumbass and you can't spell.
Right. I'm like, wouldn't it just be maybe hot dogs don't exist in this universe? And you're like, don't you remember hot dogs? There are no hot dogs. Then I would be like, okay, maybe they are on to something, because I do remember hot dogs.
There was another movie like that. It's called The Forgotten.
Yep. About her child who goes missing.
Yeah.
That is, by the end it gets bad, but the plot for that movie is actually pretty good.
I mean, it started off.
Yeah, it was really, because I remember in the trailer, she's asking the guy, she's like, please just tell them where they are. She was like, we won't tell anyone you told us. And then she gets close to him and he's like, they're listening. And then the roof goes off and shit.
Yeah, they yanked the guy out.
And I was like, holy shit. I remember when I saw that trailer, I was like, I want to see this. This is going to be good. And
I remember seeing that movie. And then
it wasn't all that great.
Wasn't it an M. Night Shyamalan?
No, it wasn't. It
had the same kind of vibe to it, though.
Twists and shit.
Because at the end, I was like...
You find out it's aliens, because
what the fuck?
The whole movie is making it seem like she's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because her husband's like, we never had a baby. All their pictures, the kid's gone in him. So, yeah. That would be some Mandela effect shit where I'd be like, I could see that if somebody was like, my child is gone, or I was married or something, or I used to be a millionaire and I'm not now. That's some shit to where I'd be like, maybe they're on to something. But saying... I remember a movie title being different. Whatever.
No, you were young and dumb and watched a stupid movie from Disney. And you've done a lot of dumb shit since then. And now your memory is foggy, so you fill in with what you hear.
And then real quick, just to wrap this up, I wanted to just go through these quick little batshit crazy ones. The ones that are just like, okay, y'all motherfuckers is crazy as hell.
All right.
First one.
Lay them on me.
J.K. Rowling doesn't actually exist. Now, here's the theory. In 2005, Norwegian filmmaker Nina Grunfeld argued that Harry Potter series had been created by an entire industry of writers, in that the woman known as J.K. Rowling was only a front. She says, is it possible that a person can write 6 thick books that are translated into 55 languages and sell more than 250 million copies in less than 10 years?
Yes, it is.
And it's like, yeah, you dumb bitch. I'm like, she wrote the shit before it got published. She had been working on the Harry Potter stories for years before they had got published. And then not only that, she doesn't herself translate the books into other languages.
No,
there are other people
do
that do that. She writes the first book. They go through some drafts. They say, okay, we publish it. And then other people translate it to the... J.K. Rowling doesn't speak 55 like you dumb motherfucker. It was like, in only 10 years? And I was like, oh my God.
No, the woman's been working on it for quarter of a century. Yeah. And it just so happened...
They were thick books!
Really? Because Beethoven couldn't compose X amount of symphonies in his lifetime?
I was like, so would that theory apply to Stephen King? Because that motherfucker done wrote so many damn books over his lifetime.
No kidding.
And they're all thick books.
Turned into movies.
Right. How could he's writing the movies and the books and he directed and starred in them? Like, shut the fuck up, you dumb son of a bitch. Anyway.
Next.
Justin Bieber is a lizard person. Back to our lizard people. A public policy survey in 2016 found that nearly 12 million people believe that an elite class of space-traveling lizards rule the Earth. 12 million people believe this shit. Among these lizards is Justin Bieber, who was reported earlier this year shape-shifting mid-concert into a giant reptile with big scaly claws and a black stripe down its middle. So yeah, Justin Bieber is apparently a lizard person. In the middle of one of his shows, he just, I don't know, he didn't take his lizard pills that day and he had an outbreak and, it was like herpes, like it flared up again, and he just turned into a lizard on stage. He hulked out, killed half the audience and shit. No one has footage of this. No one is reporting it anywhere, but apparently this happened. So there you go. I told you these was batshit crazy.
What kind of shit are these people smoking?
That's why I say these to the end, because these are like the crazy ones where it's just like, ooh, y'all motherfuckers.
Oh my
like
God.
I said, if you want to argue we didn't land on the moon, you may have some points to argue on that, but to say that Justin Bieber turned into a lizard this year during his concerts, yeah, okay. All right, so, and then the last batshit crazy one is we have a second son. There are 2 sons. Now, it says, when NASA reported the discovery of a 9th planet in 2016, which this is true, they have discovered another planet that was undiscovered before in our solar system. Astronomer Paul Cox took to the internet to speculate that the planet was actually a second sun. In a live video posted to a robotic telescope service site called Shlu, Cox examined Mercury's transits and pointed out a second sun. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us, Cox said. They don't tell us the truth, but there it is. And I'm like, okay, how do you hide a second sun? If it is a sun, which stars are suns, all stars are suns, all suns are stars. Like, that's what you see out there. That is a whole, those little dots of light in the sky, that is a sun with its own solar system and planets around it. That's why, to a degree, I somewhat believe that there could possibly be aliens somewhere and they just haven't figured out a way to get to us yet. Like, they haven't mastered space travel just like we haven't, because if you just look into the sea of stars out there and just think every one of those dots is a sun with God knows how many planets around it, and there are literally billions of solar systems out there, there has to be at least one other one that has like one. It's like, look, if you had sex with 1 billion people, you are going to have fucked somebody that has AIDS, all right? I'm like, it will be at least one person of that group. So it's like, you can't tell me out of billions upon billions upon billions, there is just none that support life and has intelligent life at our level or more by now. And a lot of these solar systems are even older than ours. Like, we're still a relatively young solar system, but whatever. The point is is that, again, I don't see how you hide a sun in the sky. Like, it's like, oh, we found it. Like, where has it been this whole time? Like, if it's in the solar system, even if it's a white dwarf, like the small stars, that's still bright enough to where if it's in our solar system, we should be able to see it. Like, if you can use a telescope to see, you know, Mercury and Saturn and all that shit, you would probably notice another sun. Like, man, you know, I swear the sun just went down and then there's another sun. Like, and why don't we see it in the sky? You know, when it gets like dusk or something like that. Maybe it's not as bright as the regular sun, but at night, where's the other sun? Again, when you start getting into conspiracy theories like this, there is really nothing you can tell people that believe this kind of shit, because they're going to believe it no matter what. You can make every logical scientific argument in the world about how you can't hide another sun and this, that, and the other, and the gravitational pull of that sun would affect the planets in the solar system, their orbit around our main sun, Sun 1. None of that shit matters. They will explain away any of that shit and be like, I know. What's this motherfucker's name? Paul Cox, he said that, and it's like, man, you can't do that shit. Like, it doesn't work that way. So, I guess the moral to this whole story is, it's okay, I guess, to like conspiracy theories, but there does come a point where you have to realize that there are some things that once you have stretched yourself to the point where it's like you're getting into absurdity territory, like, it's probably not that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the usually the best answer is probably the most simplest one. And it's like when you have to say shit like, well, I remember him saying, Luke, I am your father, so that means we're in a parallel dimension. That's when you start getting to the point where it's like, you know, maybe, you know, you're reaching too much. Like, maybe that conspiracy theory just isn't right, you know? Like, I think you've gone too far out of the realms of believability, and now you're kind of just in weirdo territory. Like, if that makes any sense. Why are you looking at me like that still?
Didn't say a word.
What? It's just the face that you're making. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not condoning the batshit crazy ones. I'm not even condoning the bad ones that I said. But, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a skeptic or not taking the official story as true. I am a big proponent of question everything. Like, even if you get pushback from it and people don't necessarily support or think that you're sane, you know, but I'm like, don't go do some crazy shit. Like, don't go pull no Pizzagate shit, though, because you probably don't know about Pizzagate either, huh? Pizzagate was a conspiracy theory that Hillary Clinton and a bunch of Democrats were running a child sex ring out of a pizza shop in Washington, D.C., and some guy believed it enough to the point where he went in there with a gun and started shooting up the place.
Oh.
So, yeah, like, don't go that crazy, but, you know, I think conspiracy theories are harmless fun, or they can be at least. I guess it just depends on how deep you're willing to go down that rabbit hole, I guess. I don't know. I feel like DJ Mellow Mel thinks I'm fucking crazy now.
You know, I don't judge what other people do.
All right. That's fair. Then that's code for yes. I think you're fucking crazy.
No, that's not code for anything. It's your thing.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Not my cup of tea. I have other things to think about that are going on.
Sure.
In a much smaller.
But don't you want to know if, you know, Justin Bieber is a lizard person?
Not
and
particularly.
If Jay-Z is a time-traveling vampire and all this kind of shit?
Particularly.
Which he may be. No.
I don't care about Justin Bieber at all.
Ooh.
And as far as Jay-Z, the man's got a wife and kids, and he's got his own thing to do. So let him do his thing.
No. Time-traveling Illuminati lizard vampire.
You know.
No. Confirmed. Confirmed. Fuck that.
Keanu Reeves is time-traveling, too.
You know, yeah. Look, don't
Nicolas
crack.
Cage.
Yeah, no, because the time traveling vampire thing is a joke. I think I might have stole from one of the conspiracy theory podcasts that I have been listening to lately, because there's like these old pictures of like Jay-Z and like Nicolas Cage and all these other celebrities from like way back in the day, and people are like, see, they're they're immortals, and it's like, yes, they look a lot like these people, but that everybody has a twin somewhere, you know, and you may have multiple twins over centuries, so who fucking knows? We all look like somebody, or at least somebody that we know all looks like somebody else. Yeah. But anyway, I swear I'm not a crazy person. Please don't, put me on a list or something like that. I probably am, though, after going through, especially after that 9/11 one. If I'm not on a list yet, I'm going to be now. All right, guys. That is it for the show. Hey, go check us out on Podbean. They are one of the best podcasting apps out there. Podbean's been a leader in the field of podcasting for over 10 years, developing innovative tools for podcasters and listeners. You can download it on the App Store or get it on Google Play. But remember, you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com, or on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, or anywhere else you get your podcast. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and like, subscribe, rate, follow, review, and all that shit.
Any questions, comments, or concerns, you just want to say hi, or that one of us is crazy, you can always email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. We're on Facebook, Reddit, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram. All you have to do is search One Giant Leap for Geeks. Okay, you guys have a good night. Bye.